Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to PHLY Flyers pregame presented by Bet365. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the evening. Joining me live in the Xfinity studio, it is Broad Street Hockey's own Kelly Hinkle. All right, I got my intro in. 5 days off. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do what I've been yelling for 5 years, but here we are, Kelly. The Flyers are back on the ice tonight against the Sharks. It is going to be sophomore showdown. Celebrini v. Michkov, one guy like spearheading a campaign towards superstardom and the Olympics. The other, we're yelling about his ice time every night. That should be a lot of fun. So we'll get into all of that.
Instantly mad. Why did you say that?
Yeah, we'll get into all of that. But we have a couple of things I got to tell you about right off the top. And I don't know really how to do this with Kelly sitting right here, but you got to check out the GoFundMe right now. We have shared the link. There is a tweet on the Broad Street Hockey page. It is for Kelly's niece, who has been diagnosed with leukemia, which is the worst thing I can honestly imagine. And yeah, you see right here, we have a QR code. Fundraiser is going well, but we can always use your help. And listen, Kelly is very much a part of the family here at PHLY, very much a part of the Flyers family. For everybody listening and watching the show right now, donate, do it. I don't know how I can sell you hats after that. And as you can see, we even got Scott Lawton in, former Flyer.
What is Scott
Lawton? He's had some time, I guess, with the Leafs. Still very much a part of the community here. As you can see, he has contributed, as have many anonymous and named donors. So if you want to get in on this, whether it's $1 or $500, like Scott Lawton, go ahead, donate right there. I don't know how I'm supposed to sell you hats after that, so maybe we'll talk about the hats in postgame. They're really cool, though. I bought one. So
buy a hat, everyone.
Yeah, go instead of buying a hat, buy a hat like next week. There'll still be some. Donate to the GoFundMe. Lots of stuff going on. Michkov, Hughes, Tocchet, Spittin' Chicklets, all sorts of 32 Thoughts, Elliot Friedman stuff going on. We're probably going to get to that tomorrow's show live right here on YouTube, 4 p.m. Tune in. If tonight's game sucks and there's nothing to talk about, perhaps we'll talk about it then. But
what are the odds of that happening?
Yeah, low, because the games are always ridiculous when the Flyers play.
I know.
They get penalty shots. They go to shootouts. There's calls, there's goalie decisions, so there's always something. Maybe we talk about it tonight, most likely tomorrow. So tune in for that. I know everyone, that's like the hot thing. We will get to it some point between post game and tomorrow's 4 p.m. show. All right, let's go to the lineup tonight. First thing is first, the netminder will be Dan Vladar, the number one goalie, 10-5-1 with the .906 and the .259 goals against. This is his 17th start tonight. And I watched post-game with you, Steve, and Mustachioed Charlie on Sunday. I hope he realizes he looked great and grows it out for real.
That's what I said. I hope he looked at himself in the mirror and just was renewed.
Even being a redhead with a jet black mustache,
like Claude Giroux,
he looked normal.
He looked amazing.
I hope he seriously considers growing it out.
I have a feeling he went home and Jill was like, you know what you're doing? You're growing that mustache, babe.
Yeah, that's what that was the demand. Anyway. He's not here. We can say whatever we want. Anyway, so Charlie gave the content. Yeah, back to the Flyers. Content. Charlie said Rick Tocchet talked about the decision to start Sam Ersson, and it simply came down to, well, Sam was good last time out, and that's true. He's only made consecutive starts. I think that's the second time this season, whereas Vladar clearly the number one. But as I said, tonight is going to be Danny V's 17th start of the season. That will put him, after tonight, 12 shy of his career high, which he set last year at 29. Now, he did come here in hopes of being able to compete for and hopefully win the starting job, which for the first half of the season, he basically has.
Yeah.
We're like, 30 or so games in, and he's the number one goalie. Stop. That said, you look at the East. They're going to be in it.
Yeah,
Unless they lose 25 in a row,
Yeah.
they're going to be in it. The only team in the East below Hockey 500 is Buffalo, and they're Buffalo. Of course they are. In all likelihood, this is going to come down to at least March, if not like game 82 like it did a few years ago.
Yeah.
In those must-win situations, you're going to want to go with Vladar. I do wonder if there's going to start being more of a timeshare here in this middle section, knowing that we're going to have to ride this guy. And in so doing, he is going to set a new career high well before the Olympic break. He's only 12 starts away.
Yeah.
And then coming out of the Olympics, it's not like the schedule eases up. They have a whole ton of games end of February through mid-April. Do you think that could be a part of it? Like, yeah, we want to give Ayers a chance, and he played well, and Vladar got lit up for 5 by the Penguins. Not ideal. But also, we can't have him start 60 games because he's never started 30.
I mean, you're probably on to something. But also, like, it's important to think that Dan Vladar, like, didn't win the #1 job by being, like, the least bad goaltender, like Sam Ersson did last year. Sam Ersson was the starter because he was the least bad option. Dan Vladar has been legitimately good.
Very good, yeah.
He's had a couple of stinkers, but, like, every goalie has a couple of stinkers.
That's his save percentage right now is .906, which is above average.
Yeah.
But it's very funny because going into that game, it was .912. One bad game knocked it down 6 points.
And so
he's actually been better than his numbers, which I know we say about Ayers all the time. But you look at Vladar, it's like, I think he's better than .906.
Every game he's better than the numbers. Anyway, I do kind of think that if you are really going to be in this thing, you kind of got to go with the guy who's really giving it to you. And I feel like if you start to see a sign, like if you see like that one sign that like, ooh, maybe he's breaking down a little bit, maybe he doesn't have it, maybe we're riding him too hard, then you start splitting up the games a little bit more evenly. But unless Sam Ersson starts to play incredibly well, which he hasn't, he's just been in his starts, I think, fine for the most part. I have not seen a game in which I watched it and thought, wow, Sam Ersson really got him that win. Like that hasn't happened. Whereas Dan Vladar, there have been a couple of times where I'm like, man, they would have been out of this game if Vladar didn't make a couple of saves there. So I think you got to stick with him as much as you possibly can, but I think you probably are onto something. I'm sure it's in the back of their mind, especially considering the fact that like Sam Ersson is glass, and they're probably like, we don't want to break either one of these guys.
That's if you do lose Vladar for a certain period of time, I know Kolosov has been decent in the AHL, and he came up, played one game, looked okay. But do you want to do that again?
No.
Do you want to have to put a whole workload on Sam Ersson? Like that could end your season as it has the last 2 years. Like, so I do think there might have to be some of that. And this is where we're going to have to go back to the Kim Dillabaugh conversation, because a lot of this, like head coaches don't know. Head coaches go to their goalie coach and go, yo, what do you think? Like, what should the rotation be? What are you comfortable with? And if Dillabaugh, who identified Vladar as a guy who could be much better than we've seen during his career in Calgary, if he's like, yeah, maybe not tonight, especially against a team that like averages more shots than any team in the league, even more than Carolina last I checked.
Yeah.
They're filled of stars. This is going to be a tough game on either goalie. Maybe we give Vladdy one more day. I am fine with that because that is Dillabaugh's job.
Yeah.
And it's just something I'm going to have to keep an eye on. It's something I'm going to ask Charlie about in postgame because it is interesting that they went with the backup against the best team in the NHL, and they were going to have to play him at some point, but he hasn't really not played twice in a row a ton this season.
No. And I mean, to be fair, at the end of the day, Ersson was fine in that Avalanche game. He certainly isn't the reason they lost.
No.
So that's like the baseline for goaltending. He's not the reason we
lost. Did you lose them the game?
Right.
Yeah.
No, he did not do that. So, cool. He did enough.
All right. We do have the lineup. We have the lines for tonight. Very, very few changes. Dvorak, Zegras, Konechny stays together. Coots, Michkov, Tippett. Kate, Skribenkin, Brink stays together. And the fourth line, Abels and Hathaway. It'll be Carl Grundstrom. It'll be the Grund man in for Nick Delorier tonight. Interesting call. The Flyers tend to win when D'Lo plays, but that doesn't really matter. My thing is just like Hathaway has been like
So
actively bad.
So bad.
That I want to start seeing, and we're going to see it when we get to the defense. Maybe a little bit more mixing up here, maybe a little bit more, you know what, I've seen all I need to see. Perhaps that starts tonight with Grundstrom getting in there. Maybe he gets an extended look. Maybe there are games where it's Abels, Grundstrom, and Delorier that play. Maybe they have another call up. We'll see how that works, but I liked what we saw out of the forward lines for the most part. Last time I was in, the Avs, I don't know, like you guys said in post game. All right, you played okay. You did the best you probably could. The Avs
didn't get embarrassed.
Yeah, like you didn't lose 10-0, which I realize sounds like hyperbole, but we've seen the Flyers lose 10-0. You know, it wasn't as bad as it possibly could have been. Okay, cool. Yeah. Now, the defense, they got to mix and match some stuff here. And they're basically going with what they went with after the Cam York injury a few games ago. We see that, where did it go? Yeah, Nick Seeler played 18-19 with Sanheim against the Avs. They stay together. Andre Drysdale has looked really good. Everyone has been praising Andre's game from Sunday. That group stays together. And Noah Juleson has a new D partner. His name is Ty Murchison, who's making his NHL debut tonight.
That's fun.
He got out there in warm-ups for the Avs game, I believe, but he's actually dressing and staying in the lineup. It's pretty cool. He was a 5th-round pick in 2021. We heard from him today. He's going to have like 20 or so family and friends at the game. Really, really cool moment for him. Decently sized guy, physical. I'm looking forward to seeing what we get. And this is what I'm talking about with experimenting with the bottom of this roster.
Yeah.
I like what we've gotten out of the top of the roster for the most part. I want to see a little bit more of a ceiling, but they've been good.
Yeah.
4th line, you have to score a goal. 3rd pair, you can't trust them for more than 10 minutes. Let's try someone new. I like this.
I like it too. He cannot be worse than Zamula. Very glad to be freed from that prison that we've all been stuck in for a little while here. But yeah, like this, I feel like this is what you have to do with a team that's not completely finished yet. Like you've got some of these guys with the Phantoms who are doing pretty well on the AHL level. You've got guys at the NHL level who are actively bad for the most part. Why not see what the guys can do from the Phantoms? Like it's not going to hurt anything. You're not replacing a quality player with Ty Murchison. Like you're taking out a bad guy. You're putting in a guy that might be bad, but also might be all right. Let's see.
Yeah, that's the like, okay, yeah, York's out and we need someone else in, and it's not, well, we're gonna play Zamula and we're gonna like, no, Andre's moved up now. Like we only have the one extra. Now we bring up another guy. I like this experimenting because the bottom of the roster has just given them so little.
Yeah.
That, you know, Charlie had a really, really good quote in post game when you guys were talking about the 4th line and then moved to the 3rd pair. And it's like, they're trying. And that was direct from Rick Tocchet. They're trying out there.
Great.
Like, if that's the best thing the coach can say when the coaches are like half their job is like speaking in coach speak and coming up with something that sounds like an answer but isn't, and the best he can come up with is like, I don't know, man, they're trying. Yeah, it's time to try something, and I hope I hope this works out. And it's cool for Ty Murchison. He is the first Flyer this year to make his NHL debut. And I feel like we've just had a lot of those over the last few years. And it's December 9th, and we're getting a guy getting like his rookie lap and all that for the first time.
Well, Ricky Tacos likes his guys, so.
Ricky Tacos.
Yeah.
Is that the official nickname?
Well, that's what Trevor Zegras calls him, so who am I to argue?
I like the Ricky edition of it. I think that makes it funny.
Yeah, Ricky Tacos.
All right. There was a really, really funny player poll in The Athletic I want to talk about in just a couple of minutes. We're going to get to the Sharks. We got some pregame picks. little spoiler, we are going to be celebrating Michkov's 21st birthday in these pregame picks. Right now, I got to tell you about Xfinity. I don't get many opportunities to just sit down and watch Philly play a hockey game. So when I get invited to my buddy's place on Sunday to watch that Philly Colorado game on my day off, I'm like, this is my nightmare. I just want my setup where I know everything is going to be perfect. But luckily, my buddy had Xfinity, and the way you watch with Xfinity is next level because Xfinity is the ultimate sports destination. There's no switching between 20 different apps. There's no lagging or buffering. Just all your favorite teams and all the best games all in one place. And the way you watch is next level because Xfinity has the enhanced 4K picture and sound, so everything looks and feels like you're at the arena. And you can watch up to 4 games at once with the multi-view. So if you wanted to catch some football as well on Sunday, we could do that and so much more. And you can even get real-time stats and notifications right on your TV, so you can keep up with your fantasy games while it's all going on. So next game day, make sure you're a big fan and not a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box. Now I got to tell you about our friends at Bet365 because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. In 2 of the last 3 games, Philly has opened up a 3-goal lead well before the game has gone final. And if you bet them on the money line or made them part of your parlay, you would have won early regardless of how that game turned out. That's what Bet365 offers with the NHL early payout offer. Your team goes up 3, you're a winner. It's that easy. And we have breaking news from our friends at Bet365. New customers now get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, win or lose. All I got to do, sign up, use code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus an NPA. If you or someone who knows a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. So I open up an athletic article today because like I get the notification on my phone, and it's like the lead on the notification is like, well, like it or not, fighting is a part of hockey. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Another article about the debate of fighting in hockey, as if that's ever like, okay, yeah, we need more of this. Let me hate read this.
Right.
And then it turned out to be something totally different. It was a player poll, and the player poll that was in the Athletic today, it was who are the most punchable players in the NHL.
Great poll.
The guys you just want to hit. And I find that, like, yeah, that's exactly the type of stuff I want from the dudes with the access,
Yeah, right.
like the Athletic has. And we got 107 responses. And we get 2 flyers ending up with votes on this. Now, Nick Cousins, Brad Marchand, runaway winners of this thing.
No shock.
Makachuk is on there. Again, not a shock. And then you see a little bit down with 2.8% of the vote, Garnet Hathaway. And it's funny, he actually had there were 2 quotes about Hathaway in this thing. The one was just like, I don't know, he's annoying. He's annoying, an anonymous player. And then in one of the quotes, I forget who it was about. I think it was Tim Stützle. Yeah, it was like, in this, Dylan Larkin. That's punchable in the league. Got to look around in my head now. A few years ago, it would have been Garnet Hathaway, who the F always pisses me off. I'm going to say Dylan Larkin. He's on my list. He's pissing me off lately. So Hathaway gets a couple of mentions, even in an answer not about him. He gets a mention. And when we're talking about the 4th line and maybe working him into the rotation, maybe it's that simple. He pisses other teams off. That, like, he has in his career, and no one's paying him for his scoring.
No.
He has in his career drawn a ton of penalties, though, and that is something that can benefit a team. I can't say it's gone that way this year.
Yeah, that's what's frustrating.
It's just like the guy is a shell of himself right now. But you do see this, and he gets a little bit of even, this season, which hasn't exactly gone well for him, getting some mentions in the hateable player poll. Trevor Zegras got 1 vote as well.
That's very
which
funny.
is very, very like, yeah, I just don't like that guy.
I feel like was that Rick Tockett's answer? Like, I feel like he's the kind of guy that every hockey man is like, I'm gonna slap the crap out of that kid.
Oh, like all the old Canadian fogies.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, I hate this guy.
Brent Burns is like, I'm gonna slap the crap out of Trevor Zegras.
Like every goalie in the league is like, I can't. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna face this guy in a shootout and not have any chance. If I go up against him on a penalty shot, I'll stop it. But for some reason, those two things are wildly different for Trevor Zegras.
Yeah.
I found this very funny, and honestly, it's the kind of content I want to see. And I want more Flyers on that list. Like I was really hoping to see Michkov get like 1 vote. Like Cale Makar got 1 vote. And there was a quote about it. It was like, I hate him because I have to play against him all the time. I want to punch him because it's like, you're too good. So I would love for Michkov to get maybe one of those sorts of votes. But I do like seeing a couple Flyers on that list.
Oh, for sure. It would have been very disappointing if we had 0 guys on that list.
It would be very off-brand.
Yeah, very off-brand.
All right, that's that. Now let's talk a little bit about the Sharks, who are kind of okay. They're pretty good. 14, 13, and 3 on the season. They started out though 0-4-2. They didn't win their first game until game number 7. They didn't win their first game in regulation until game number 11, which brought them to 3-6-2. Since then, October 30th, they are 12-7-1. They've won consecutive games against the Devils and Avs. They just the other day beat the Hurricanes in Carolina. By total points, the Sharks are in second. They're in the second wild card spot in the West. By points percentage, they're a little bit out, but like rounding error basically. Yeah. They're very much in the playoff mix in the West, and the West isn't exactly the East in terms of. Like, oh, yeah, well, everyone's in it. Not quite the same out west with some pretty bad teams, but the Sharks have been making a push, especially over the last month or so, and it's all led by Macklin Celebrini.
He's real good.
He's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
15 goals, 43 points in 30 games. He's got 28 assists, Kelly. That is tied for the league lead with a guy named Connor McDavid.
That's wild.
He's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And he does not turn 20 until June 13th.
Oh my God.
He's doing all of this as a teenager, absolutely dominating. His obviously counterpart, Will Smith, 28 points in 30 games. He's been really good as well.
Yeah.
What bothers me about Celebrini, other than the fact we don't have him.
Right. That is annoying to me as well.
Last year, basically the exact same scoring line. He did miss 10 games, so the points per game a little different, but 63 points, 25 goals, the same or a little less than Matvei Michkov. He did that in 1947 a game, playing like, if you actually looked at like total time on ice, even though Mish played more games, it was like they actually played the same amount of like actual hockey.
Yeah.
This year, he's over 20 minutes a game, while Michkov
is not.
Well under that.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. Like, Celebrini might be generational superstar. He is doing this, again, he's not 20 for another 6 months. And Michkov turns 21 tonight. Like, he's 21 right now. Turned it today. I get it. Maybe these are a little bit different in the scale of, like, level of star. But I just feel like if you gave Misha a little bit more, just a little bit more of a leash, I'm not saying, considering the shape he came in and everything, that he'd have 43 points in 30 games. But damn, the kid was a scoring machine last year. Maybe let him be that again.
This is something Steve and I talked about. I don't remember if it was on pre or post. I feel like it's a bit of a chicken egg situation with Michkov. Like, was he bad at the start of the season? Yes, for sure. No getting around it. He did not look good. He has started to come around. And I feel like, is he not scoring because you're not giving him the time, and you're not giving the time because he's not scoring? Like you said, I feel like they just need to let him loose. And you can't, like, Macklin Celebrini is on a bad team. And as a result, they're like, just go. Who cares? Whatever. We're not doing anything. Get out there.
And now they're like kind of good
nuts.
Because of it.
Exactly. And look what he's turning into. And I feel like Tocchet's thing about wanting to win games more than develop players, these are the kinds of decisions that he makes because of that I worry about, because I don't think he's going to ruin Matvei Michkov. Like, I don't think he's going to be bad because of this minutes thing. But I do think that, like, there is a chance that you're, like, hampering his development by holding him back like this. Like, he is so creative, and he's going to take chances. And as we all know, guys that take chances make mistakes. That's going to happen sometimes. But the more chances they take and the more mistakes they learn from, you start making fewer and fewer. It's just like, I really wish that Danny Briere would sit, talk it down, and be like, listen, dude, I get it, but like, we need this kid to be a superstar if this is going to work. Like, he's got to be a tier player if this rebuild is going to work.
I'm really
and they're not letting him do it.
I'm really looking forward to watching Celebrini tonight. I doubt he and Michkov will be on the ice together a ton, just because that's not how they've used Michkov this year. But I am looking forward to seeing, like, if Celebrini, we hear so much about how good he is in battles and stuff. I want to know if he's so good. Why is he constantly in these puck battles? Like, is it because he's making a mistake, but then making up for it? Like, he's afforded that opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just looking forward to seeing him up close against a level of competition with which I am familiar, so I can judge it based on that, you know? I'm looking forward to it. In net for the Sharks tonight, Alex Nedeljkovic. Their starter is Yaro Askarov. He's ill, so Ned is getting his second consecutive start. He beat the Canes on Sunday. He's been pretty good for them, 4-5-2 with a 301 and an 899. Their numbers pretty similar. Askarov's kind of pulled away recently, but Nedeljkovic is a decent enough goalie.
Not bad.
Not a guy that can't be beat, though, with a sub 900 and a 301 goals against. So I'm looking forward to that. And that brings us to the pregame picks. Our Bet365 pregame picks. All you got to do is sign up, use code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and in PA. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got 2 bets tonight, Hinks, and they're both Matvei Michkov.
Wow.
Basically copy and pasted from the last time I was here, because I think I had the same 2, but also Flyers money line. But it is Matvei's 21st birthday, and in the first meeting, not only is it his birthday, but we have seen him in these head-to-head matchups kind of step up and be like, no, I'm the guy. Last year in the first Celebrini Michkov meeting, Matvei, a goal, a primary assist, and a goal in the shootout after taking a penalty for punching Celebrini at the end of regulation, which was also kind of funny. Today's his birthday. We saw the power of the birthday on Sunday. Sean Couturier scored a goal. So we are going with it again. Michkov, anytime goal at plus 210. And just in case he decides to pick up some assists rather than scoring, we are protecting ourselves.
I like it.
For that over half a point at minus 120. I'm, again, interested in seeing Michkov now as opposed to last year, because his hot streak, the way he started the season, his slump ended right after, or his hot streak ended and his slump began kind of right after his birthday. So December 10th, he has 2 assists last season. That brings him to 27 points in his first 27 games. Point-a-game player.
Okay.
Then he had 2 points in his next 13. Both of them came in one game, and 7 over the next 26 overall. And then he heats up and goes nuts right before and after 4 Nations. Comes to the 60-plus points, the 26 goals. But it was that middle part that we're entering right now where it started to get away from him. I wonder if we have almost a reverse effect this year where starts slow, now works himself into shape, and we get that guy kind of around now, the 30 or so game mark.
Well, maybe he'll get more than like 10 minutes as a little birthday treat.
You know what? If that's Takit's birthday gift, I would be
12 minutes.
I would be super cool with that, Kelly. Yeah, this is game 28 for the Flyers. So
I'm ready for him to go off.
It was game 28 where it started to fall off last year. Let's see if he can get it going in
No
game
better
28
night
this year. All right, couple of super chats, both from David Shub before we get out of here. Michkov sheds the mitts with Mac for his birthday. That would be really fun.
Got to get up that punchable face list.
You got to get on that punchable face list by punching someone else in the face a couple of times.
That's how you do it.
Make other people want to punch you by punching them. That's how I always did it. We're calling him Fart Angry now instead of Bart Angry. Fart Angry is cooked. Gart Angry, that's what it is. Gart. I really hope not, because I like him a lot.
Yeah.
But we've seen it. Guys who play those hard minutes, it's not like, he's in his 30s now. It can just go.
But also, we joke about how, Ryan Poehling was giving up, nothing to get Trevor Zegras, but it would appear that Ryan Paling was the guy that drove that fourth line.
You make
I don't really think that's a surprise, but you
make that trade 100 times out of 100. But there's no question they're missing Ryan Paling.
For sure.
Like on that fourth
They need a guy. They need a Ryan Paling.
They could absolutely use one. All right. That is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers pregame. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you follow us right here on YouTube. We'll be back as soon as this thing goes final with postgame. Charlie will check in on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at PHLY_Flyers. And make sure you follow the podcast as well. And while you're at it, holiday spirit, giving mood, check out Kelly's GoFundMe for her niece. I have to do it just to mess with you, Kelly, but also because it's a really great cause.
It's very
all right.
sweet.
That's it. I am Bill Matz. That's Kelly Hinkle. Thank you to Brenna. Let's go Flyers.
We all silly like the mayor.